I'm Linda Mary, and in this video we're going to talk about how to level up in your 20s. So when you get to your 20s, you are no longer a teenager, but at the same time you don't have the same responsibilities as those of 30, 40, 50, 60 years onwards. So this is the best time to lay the foundation for the life that you want to live. By doing some things, you significantly increase your chances of being successful. So how can you level up in your 20s? Let's get started. The first thing you can do to level up in your 20s or to stop wasting your 20s is to take big risks. I know you may have heard this before, but this is the time that your risks do not have big consequences. Okay, let me say that now you decided that you want to switch your career. You don't want to be an accountant, you want to be a model or a flight attendant. It's easy to do that in your 20s. Circumstances are usually different, but most probably you don't have a child, you are not married, so you can just switch. The only person that will be affected is you, as opposed to, let's say you're in your 40s or 50s and you decide now you want to leave your stable accounting job and become a model or become a flight attendant. Sometimes it may take time for that other career to peak, and then what will happen, especially if you're the breadwinner, you have to overthink it. Now you are putting your family at risk of being like homeless, or your children not going to school because you want to switch to something that you feel like now this is now what you're meant to do. But you know, in your 20s it's easier. In your 20s, if you get an opportunity to go abroad, go abroad. It's just you, just pack and leave, okay? Because you're going to get so much exposure, you're going to get so many experiences, okay? It is easier as compared to now you're thinking, how can I get visas for my partner and for my children? How do you travel? Where will you stay with an entire family? You see those things. If you start a business and it fails, then it's just you, okay, who is going to have to deal with that, and you don't have so many responsibilities, as opposed to you take all your savings, you put it in the business, it fails, then what? The entire family is now at risk. Take risks, even in terms of dating. It's not just like come and decide that this is my one partner for life. You've not even known that person that well. Take your time, get to know this person and get to know this person, and then realize whom have you built a better connection with, whom do you see yourself with in the future, whom do you think that your lives are aligned, things like that. Don't just stick to one thing and decide that's it. This is the time to discover your passions. Maybe one day I'll tell you all about it. I normally joke that I've done almost every job in this world. This is the time in my early 20s when I decided that I wanted to try acting, like on stage acting. I loved it. That's the time that I decided to start salsa, kizomba dances, even though I didn't complete them. But I'm like, oh, I like this thing. That is the time to discover what you like. And you can only do that when you take the risk, okay? Do something like, this is not for me. Yes, this is what I like. We've said a risk, which means that some of these things will fail. And that's okay. Because actually, I normally look at it as not failure, but I normally look at things as experience or lessons. So I either got the experience or I learned something. Take an example of Oprah Winfrey. Oprah was fired from her first television show. She was an anchor. She was fired. I know she's like the queen of TV. So it's okay as you're finding your way in your 20s, as you're taking risks. Some of them will pay off, some of them won't pay off. But it's okay because you can afford to take that risk. So number one is take big risks. Big risks also come with big rewards. The second thing you need to do to level up in your 20s is to build relationships. I'm going to talk about building relationships and building your network. If you've interacted with people who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, people who are influential, you know those people who are like, okay, I need a job in this. Oh, no, what, the manager, the CEO is my friend. We went to school together. I don't know, we did this job together. We go way back. If you've interacted with these successful people, these established people who are older, you've heard them say that you think that those opportunities just fell in their lap. They built these relationships. They built their network. And you know they're saying that your network is your net worth. In your 20s, that is the time to build these relationships. They're people you went to school with. If you had a good relationship, maybe you kept contact, they are more likely to help you than a stranger, okay? People you've worked with in different careers. I normally joke that I'm too old to start looking for best friends. Because the people who are closest to me, like closest to me, these are people I've known for years. So build your relationship, build your network. It will help you in future to accomplish your goals. I don't know if you've ever found yourself in this situation where you want to ask someone a favor, but you've not even communicated for the past 5 years. You'd be like, hi, no, it's Linda. I just wanted to ask if you can help me out. And the people are like, are you crazy? You've not even said hi for the past 5 years, and then you're just waking up and you want me to grant you a favor? Like, who are you? So build your relationships. Don't just expect things to fall on your lap. Pick up that phone call, check on them, visit them, do whatever you need to do. The third tip that you can use to level up in your 20s is to have your finances in order. This is the time that you start to develop the savings culture. This is the time that you start learning about investments. This is the time that you're able to track your expenditure. This is the time that you learn how to live within your means. Let me say that you have double the money that you had 2 years ago, but you're still in the same situation in that you don't have investment, you don't have savings. Then you know it's not helping you much, because what you're doing is the more money you're getting, you're just upgrading your lifestyle. You're moving to more expensive schools, more expensive neighborhoods, all those things. But the other things like the savings, the investments, nothing. Okay? And this is a trait that you can build in your 20s. When you master it in your 20s, it will come more naturally. One of the things I struggle with is savings. Savings does not come naturally to me. I have to be intentional. I have to put in a lot of work. I have to do so many things to be able to save, because it's not something that I learned in my early 20s. I was not saving then. So it's not something that I'm just going to wake up and be like, oh, now I'm good at saving. So this is the time to build these good habits that will help you in future, that will give you financial freedom. So get your finances in check. Savings, spending, investing, living within your means. Not even within your means, actually below your means. The fourth thing you need to do to stop wasting your 20s and to level up in your 20s is to invest in personal development. Build yourself up. This is the time that your self-esteem, your confidence should be on the roof. Build it up. Build your emotional maturity. If you have trauma, if you have things that you need to heal, heal. Okay? Learn. Make sure that you grow every single day. You get more exposed, more experiences. Become the best version of yourself. And that will help you even if you go into your 30s, your 40s, and 50s. You will have good habits. People will want to associate with you. You will go after what you want because you have that confidence that you can get it. Your 20s is the best time to do this. So in your 20s, again, this is the time to gain marketable skills. Like, have a skill, not just what you studied. That is important. If you can upgrade it, maybe let me say you got a diploma, if you get a degree on it, if you can get another course that goes hand in hand with what you're studying, if you can get other skills, other marketable skills. So a few years after high school, this is the time that I started taking writing seriously. I used to write like as a hobby. I used to write novels and leave them halfway when I was in high school. But when I finished, then I started taking it seriously. Seriously meaning I was actually being paid to write articles and blogs, and I built this skill over the years, and now that is what I'm surviving with. Okay, I'm a freelance writer. You can get these skills through attachments, internships, through volunteering. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, did I really volunteer for almost a year at a children's home? I did volunteer to teach. I saw another world that maybe I would not have seen if I did not volunteer at that children's home. It made me have a sense of gratitude. And the skills, yes, I taught. So I'm a teacher, don't joke with me. If I decide I want to take teaching seriously, I can teach. Because I learned that skill. You can even learn this skill by taking these entry jobs. So when you're finished, especially when you're young and you've graduated, and then when you're giving these big speeches, now give you the power to go and do this and this, and then you go out into the world and you're like, I'm a graduate, I cannot do this, I cannot do this. What you don't know is that low paying job, that level entry job, is going to give you skills that will help you in life. One day when you're up there, you will understand how to relate to the person who was there, because you were there before. You know the struggles that they go to. You will become a good manager. You will know how to treat people better. If one day things go left and you are the only one left there, you can do that job because you know it. You got the skills. The last tip that you can use to level up in your 20s is to take care of yourself. This is the time to start taking care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. If you neglect your mental health, that's when you get to your 30s, your 40s, you're just depressed all the time. You have a lot of things that are piling up that you have not dealt with. If, let me say, that you do not even take things like taking care of your skin, and then that's the time that you're going to go, we are running around for all the anti-aging. You're like, what? It prevents you from aging? That's what I want. That's what I want. But all the time when you're in your 20s, you're just sleeping in your makeup, knowing very well that sleeping in your makeup is going to destroy your skin. You're like, no, I don't take water. I want to take alcohol every single day, and then damages your skin. And then you start to do the repair when you're 30s or your 40s. Take care of yourself. This is the time that you can start developing those healthy habits. Taking care of yourself also involves not having negative people around you, or people who have toxic behaviors, because they're going to bring you down. They're going to interfere with your physical and your mental and emotional state. So if you want to excel, please take care of yourself. I've attached a video of the #1 tip you can use to loving your body, and also how you can build your confidence. Please watch those videos. Let us grow. Let us be the best versions of ourselves. This channel will tackle personal development, and also I do lifestyle vlogs. If that's something that interests you, please like this video and subscribe. And until next time, be good to yourself and be kind to others.